fellow traders, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, April the 25th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Risk management, always have risk management in place. That way you shouldn't lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade or during any one trading session. Let's take a look at the weekly. We are now 61 pips above the weekly open for the pound dollar. The dashboard tells us that all the gaps have filled across the pairs. For the pound, we're 97 off the high, 93 off the low. We're practically in the middle of the weekly range. We take a look at the weekly opening range. You can see we barely broke out on Tuesday, and we broke out a little more on Wednesday, but we're right back in that opening range area, almost to the middle of that opening range. If we zoom out to the monthly, we can see that we almost made a new monthly high on this chart, but we did make a new monthly high for this month, and we made a new yearly high this month. But we're almost hit that October, or I think this is September 2024. And you see price dropped out of the wick zone here, the wick zone here. So wick zone traders were definitely rewarded. And earlier today, I was talking with Walmart, and I made an observation that it really doesn't make sense to trade into wick zones. It only makes sense to trade out of them. And I'm even talking all the way down to the 1 minute chart. When we get there, I'll point out what I'm talking about. So here we're looking at the monthly chart once again to show that we're 98 pips off the yearly high, 1226 off the yearly low, and we're 816 pips above that yearly open. So we're putting in a pretty nice range here. Lots of inside bar action happening, except on the pound. For some strange reason. The pound, let's see, the pound pairs are the ones that don't seem to have much inside bar action. The pound dollar and the pound Canadian. We do have some on the pound New Zealand dollar, though. They're across the board. The range today is only 67 pips. We had news, but it didn't seem to move the pound. Pound New Zealand's clocking in at 183. That's the new beast, and the old beast, the pound yen, 168. Pound Australia, not to be outdone, is at 178. Does anybody out there trade the pound Australian dollar? Any of the viewers? I'm curious. And pound is coming back into the sell zone area here. You can see it's already poked above and then dropped back below once again by, you can see a couple of pip move there. And when Walmart and I were looking, the pound had dropped down to the 133 area. I think we were probably talking somewhere around, let's see, this time, let's see, yeah. And it was funny because he had said, I think right around here, he goes, I think it's going to go to, or somewhere around here, I think it's going to go back up to 133.30. And I was looking to short the whole time, and then it started to head back down. But as I like to call him, the Oracle now, he spoke and it happened. But once again, you got to trade what you see, because it was so funny as it happened so many times. He was trading long, I was trading short, and we both made money. It's just funny how that happens. But, that just goes to show you have to trade what you see. You trade your method, and you stick with it, and hopefully it pays off. Right now, red rats look like they were trying to feast, but then the green rats pushed it back up into the red rat zone. The Bambino Flex indicator said to go short at the pivot, and it looks like that paid off a few times today. Pivot trading plan, though, on the other hand, said that the bias is long near the pivot, and it looks like that also paid off. So, in fact, that kind of makes sense because this 3313 area, we were pretty much, price was ranging between like 5 and 15 at the time, and I was going for shorts and he was going for longs, and that's just pretty much what was happening there. So once again, you can have a very simple trading plan, you follow it, and it should make money. I want to take a look here. You can see we knocked out these H4 pivots. We took out today's pivot. We still have an open pivot from 2 days ago. In fact, let's see, we've got 3 trading days left in the month, and we've got 4 open pivots. In fact, we've got 2 weekly open pivots this month, but we did take out the monthly pivot. And it looks like we got really close to taking out a monthly pivot from 37 months ago. Let's see. That would have been the pivot from March of 2022, right here. Wick zone, you can see in and out of that upper wick zone. It doesn't, I don't even think we had a lower wick zone, if I remember correctly. Take a quick look at the daily chart. As you can see here, there was no wick zone. Yesterday, the open was at 464, the low was 464. No wick zone at all. This week range 190 pips. That's only 41 percentile over the last 12 weeks. Though high minus previous high 125, that was a biggie, taking that previous week high breakout. On the other hand, we did not break out at a low, so you can see we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. High minus close 98 at the moment, close minus low 93. High minus open for the weekly open crossover traders 157, and to the south, open minus low was 34 pips. Looking at our trading charts, simple trading charts here, you can see M30 range has died down over the past 3 hours. There was some action beforehand. You can see here, I guess everybody's about ready to pack it up and go home. There's a nice 3 ball down here. And taking the trade off of there. We had a lower high trigger here. As you can see, there was pips to be made once again. We had a higher low here, 3 ball, flip-flop box, came back about the midpoint came back down, and you can see, once again, pips to be made. Once again, real simple methods. You might be a longer term trader. You can, but once again, you can use that. If you want to sit in a trade for hours, some of the same methods apply. Here you have an H1, the highest low. You can see here, price fell down. You had a lower high here, came back down, shot back up through it. There was pips to be made. So it just depends on your style. If you don't mind sitting in a trade, let's see, if you entered this trade here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Well, it just depends on how many pips you want to make. Do you want to make 20, 30, all in one trade? That's kind of up to you. Simple trading here. Once again, flip-flop box trade to the south. And you're only trading against the H4 here. So the way I use this, you just look, red, 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 green. Okay, so I'm trading against H4. I might be able to stay in that trade a little bit longer. Looking to the left here, you've got these wicks. So what you don't want to do is, when you look here, see, when you look at this trade, you look here, no, you can enter there. But right here, all you see is wicks. Even though you were breaking that low, it's hard sledding. Just forget about it. So look left, you see wicks, you wait. You look left, you see bars, you can enter. Rule of thumb, I'm sure there's people that maybe do the opposite and make money. Okay, range by month so far. April 716. We look at the what ATR percent we're sitting at. We're sitting at 158. So out of the past 20 years, we have 1, 2 above it. So that's some nice movement in the month of April. Close minus the year-to-date open. It's a percentage, 6.49% return if you bought the open price. So that's very interesting considering we went down. I mean, if you would have traded the yearly open and sat in it, that's a nice return. You could almost shut your machine down for the year. Some people want more, but some people would be happy with that. Okay, taking a quick look here at the trade reminder. Price above the upper wick zone on the monthly. Buyer strong control. Higher high, higher low. We drop to the weekly. Price above the upper wick zone. Higher high, higher low. Okay. And we look at the daily. Prices between the wick zones right now. Buyers weak control. We have a lower high and a higher low, basically inside bar, and we've crossed below the D1 open. So, fellow traders, that pretty much wraps it up for the week. I hope everyone out there had a profitable week, profitable day, profitable year so far. And just to let you know, when you come back to your trading platform, I want you to always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.